And if she thinks that she's got to impress him or get the approval from him, from the archangel, bam, she's toast. She's toast.
True mother. That is, true mother has been essential to fulfill all 5 of these purposes.
Just let it roll, but we've taken it apart.
Let me explain.
That's saying
First of
mother has
all,
to do what father
what's
did.
the core of
Bullshit.
Jesus' unfinished work? The first thing that Jesus told Father,
I gotta wipe my ass with
after
this.
Jesus called him was, I should have married. I should.
I don't know if you want to keep that comment in or not, but
Of course I'm going to keep that comment in there.
I'm back.
All right.
Should have had a bride. And so you have to do this, Father, for me. So at the very last public speech that Father gave in his life, at the founding of the Able Women's UN in July 2012, Father was reminiscing about when he was called back in 1935 and the conversations he was having with Jesus at that time in his life when he was just a teenager. And one of those conversations, Jesus said to him, "Young Leon, I came here today to go with you to join the marriage." So Jesus walked with Father, and Jesus and Father walked hand in hand to fulfill the mission of marriage, which Jesus was not able to fulfill in his lifetime. Divine principle is very clear. Had Jesus been able to get married, he wouldn't have gone to the cross. And part of the reason Jesus went to the cross was because of issues surrounding attempts to set up a blessing for him. But anyway, that's another lecture. So there was the marriage feast of the Lamb in 1960. And
All right, look, and I'll keep it real short because
right.
you need more time than I do. But here's the thing. Right now, he's being actually very factual and very much by lectures and stuff, but this is Father's course. He's already stated, and he's going to come back, and it's very predictable, that this is Mother too. That's bullshit. Okay, I'll turn it over to the...
It's bullshit for a very clear reason. There were 2 mothers before her. Okay? So that means that, if they would have fulfilled that role, then it's not, if he's going to say that she's equally called, no, she's not equally called. She is a causal being in the matter. A resultant being in the matter. Father on earth here represents the causal side. It is his choice, and he chose two people before Mother. Okay? So here's the subject. Mother is not an equal subject. I just want to put that out there before he goes into whatever he's about to go into, because neither one of us have seen this before. Okay?
No, but I can smell, listen, when you don't have to see it, but when you smell it, and you know what it is, and you know what you're about ready to step into, and that's what intellectually I'm picking up on from Andrew right here.
So you're saying he's about to...
He's about ready to step into an intellectual pile of shit by claiming that this is also Mother, equating Mother to Father.
Right, yeah, no. Father is cause and Mother's result.
Right.
And Mother is the third result, okay? Let's be honest. That's how clear it is that she is result and Father is cause, okay? Woman comes from man's rib, not vice versa, okay?
For that marriage feast of the Lamb, Father had to lay a foundation of 14 years, including go to prison a couple of times, and start from zero, building his church in Busan.
Stop real quick.
And everything else.
Notice how, as Jamal just mentioned, the 2 previous wives, that, whatever. Andrew, once again, is very dishonest here. in not mentioning that she's the third wife.
I know.
He just skips over it, and he says, this is the chorus, and then he says it's 14 years, this, yada, 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 yada. And I have no doubt that the technical details that he says are true.
He was married twice in that 14 years.
Right, but there were foundations before. There were attempts before. And my point is, the failures are heart-wrenching. The stories which I've read and heard, and some of the testimonies from one particular 36 couple I've worked with, bring tears and empathy from the depths of my heart. But here's the bottom line. If any one of those previous wives had succeeded, we would never know of Han Hakshija. That's the Korean way of saying it.
Han Hakja.
Yeah, family name first. Maybe they would have been a member, maybe she would have been blessed, I don't know. But it is very clear that mother is actually the alternate. She is not the primary. She is number 3.
Out of my respect, I'm not gonna laugh. You're saying she's the bench warmer.
Yes. Back up. And I'll be honest, I'm not the A team myself. I'm not the B team. I'm actually probably the Z or double Z team. Okay? That's how desperate and how difficult it is for God and His providence. Let's not forget it. I'm not taking anything away from Mother. But I want to point out just how fundamentally dishonest and intellectually bankrupt what Andrew is doing. And he knows this. He knows this history that I just mentioned and Jamal speaks of. And yet he puts it out of the way because it's inconvenient to his already preconceived notions.
Yeah,
that is a great deceiver. I hope he and Lucifer have good conversations together.
I mean, look at it like this. If any of the previous mothers would have succeeded, then the 3 generations of preparation that he's about to go into, that's on the screen here, the 3 generations of preparation, of mother, what would have happened with that? What would have happened with that? You don't know. I don't know. I'm certainly that she would have become maybe one of the 36 couples, or, she would have become somebody great in latter generations because she's 23 years younger than father, right? So she would have been married to somebody else. They may have done something very great, that couple, but that wouldn't have been the prime couple that starts the whole lineage spreading all over the planet. She would have been part of some other couple, right? So, the merit wouldn't have been lost if, but to say that, mother is equal to father when she is result and father is cause in the whole business of their marriage, what's the word? That's deceptive. It's just deceptive.
Yeah.
It is absolutely deceptive. Okay? And why is it deceptive and why is it important to say that? It's important to say that because mother cannot change what father says. It's not her job. And he's trying to set up an argument whereby mother has override ability over father. Because we already know that she's made quite a few moves where she's changed tradition and changed things father said, and she shouldn't have done that. And what are you going to do in the face of the fact that she shouldn't have done that? You're going to have to change the truth itself completely.
Yes.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to change the truth itself.
And he's using a very tried and true tactic. You cherry pick from the factual base what supports you, and you ignore and leave out the parts that clearly contradict you. That is what Andrew is doing. He is doing that intentionally at this point, because Andrew Wilson clearly knows of the previous wives in great detail. Okay? He doesn't even give it a footnote.
Whoever that true mother was, she had to go through something. Granted, that nobody had to go through. Mother had to endure the backbiting women who thought that they should have been the true mother, that they were better women than her, and all this kind of stuff, and emotional turmoil, and women are 6 times more emotionally sensitive than men, and we don't even have any idea. You could hear their voices, and she, talking about her makeup, and talking about her hair, and talking about the way she walked, and talking about, and she had no friends, and da-da-da-da-da, and she had to be grateful, and she had to find a way through it. No, nobody can take that away from mother. But whoever father picked would have had to go through that. Okay? So she does have to go through something. I will say that to her credit. And move on?
Yeah, let's move on. It's Andrew's dishonesty I'm pointing out, not mother's.
Like that there's a reason he leaves out.
There's the reason he leaves it out is because it's an inconvenient truth.
Okay.
The father did. But at the same time, mother was making her own foundation. And that was the foundation that she was laying in her family. And if you study the Chambumogyeong, there's a whole chapter about mother's foundation and father's foundation. And we learned that mother's grandmother and mother's mother were both involved in Christian spiritual churches like the Inside the Womb Church that were looking for the Messiah and preparing.
And Andrew brings up mother's grandmother. And this comes from, I don't know if he put it out publicly, but he said it in a public statement in a setting, at least after church service, Hyunjinim and that. But at any rate, I don't know if people realize this, but mother's grandmother is a Choi. Che, okay, whatever. And she is related directly to one of the previous wives. So let's get this out there. And let's be factual about these things. If he's talking about a prepared lineage, mother's not the only one of that lineage. Okay? Reality check.
Yeah, I mean, you're really blowing something up. I mean, the best that Christianity had to offer was someone who managed to have 3 generations of girls. That's the criteria. Or the fact that they are spiritually open or spiritually attuned, or the fact that they do healing or anything that spiritual groups do. There are so many spiritual groups around the world. I mean, look, you should just be grateful that within the providence you were chosen when providence had other people to choose from.
Right. And very clearly, anybody who really comes from a Christian background and understands Christianity, it is by grace, not by our work, that we are justified.
Did you hear what he said? So the whole idea that, according to merit, not grace.
We earned it!
Yeah.
Oh, we earned this!
According to, people in the church have that problem about the blessing, not getting the spouse that they wanted and everything. We be having that problem. None of us deserve the blessing, so you should shut up about whatever you got, right? Okay, if you can't be grateful, at least be honest about the fact that you can't be grateful because Satan has already poisoned your mind in your time in the world before the church. But, mother is in the position by grace. Granted. You have a problem with that? So trying to redo the narrative that almost as if God has no choice but to choose from her because of the merits of her. That means your ancestors bought your way into true motherhood? No. If there were 2 wives before, right? Then your merit did not purchase. Okay? The era of those 2 previous marriages has more to do with why you're there than the merit of your ancestors. Okay? The failure of other people in other situations is the reason why you got the shot. Okay? Let's think clear. Okay? Look, I'll be open to anything that's reasonable. But stop trying to spoon feed people crap, okay? It is not true to say that mother is true mother because of her lineage was prepared. Let's move on.